Hello, CAC family. It's good to be seen again. Thanks for tuning in. Last weekend, I went camping in Idaho with my brother and his family, our annual camping trip. We've tried to figure out when we started. It's probably been at least 20 years. We always go to the same place, the Boise National Forest, right by the Crooked River, at literally the end of a road. And there's no amenities. It's dry camping, tent camping, and we love it and go back year after year after year. Saturday night, after everybody went to bed, I stayed up for a while and I stood around the campfire. It was getting dark, the stars were coming out, it was getting cooler. And as I stood around the campfire and listened, I could only hear two sounds. I could hear the sound of the river rippling over rocks and moving downstream. And I could hear the fire crackling. And that was it. River moving, fire crackling. And so I stood there and I looked and I listened and I smelled. And when I looked up, I realized that I felt like I was in a cathedral, an outdoor cathedral, surrounded by, walled in by tall ponderosa pines. And it felt like I was embraced by the God of creation. And I just stood there and I took it all in, and I loved every second of it. Now in Ireland, the Celtic people have a term for this. They call it a thin place. And a thin place is where the veil between this world and the unseen world becomes porous. The distance between heaven and earth collapses. Heaven comes down to earth. Earth rises up to heaven. And you're kind of in this middle ground place, a thin place. An outdoor cathedral where you're embraced by and you experience the power, the wonder, the beauty of the God of creation. And as I stood there and experienced it, I thought of Psalm 96, which I looked up afterwards. And I thought of these verses. I'm going to read them for you, starting at verse 9. Worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. Say among the nations, the Lord reigns. The world is firmly established. It cannot be moved. He will judge the peoples with equity. Let the heavens rejoice. Let the earth be glad. Let the sea resound and all that is in it. Let the fields be jubilant and everything in them. Let all the trees of the forest sing for joy. Let all creation rejoice before the Lord. For he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world in righteousness and the peoples in his faithfulness. Here we have a picture of a thin place, and we find creation itself worshiping God, which I believe happens and will continue to happen. All that to say, I hope that this summer, I hope that before the fall comes, you are able to find a thin place, your thin place, in God's outdoor sanctuary and cathedral, where you can be there and feel embraced by the God of creation. That's what I wanted to share with you following last weekend's camping trip. And before I go, one quick announcement. This is Wednesday, recording this on Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, 7 p.m. here at the church. Will be my second summer talk of the summer, and it's going to be a book report on John Mark Comer's book, Live No Lies. In this book, Comer writes about how the world and the flesh and the devil try to affect us for evil, for bad, and how God has resources available to help us combat the world and the flesh and the devil. I'm going to give a book report on that tomorrow. You don't have to have read the book to come. Everybody's free to come. Whether you've read the book or not, have the book or not, I think there'll be something here for you, and I want to invite you to that. The coffee bar will be open. Until next time, the blessing of God rest upon you. I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.